Returning to Source, Class 6, Ancestral Wounding, Recovering Personal and Planetary Wholeness. Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, your guide through this 9-class journey of returning to Source. The topic in this, the 6th of our series, is Ancestral Wounding, Recovering Personal and Planetary Wholeness. Insights from the 6th or sociocentric level of the spiral dynamics model will help us understand the power of group programming and do healing work with our own history in this regard. Ancestral wounding in our world today. Some theorists have postulated that humans are innately war-prone animals with strong instincts toward violence. They cite a history of civilization replete with cycles of war throughout. Darwin's theory of evolution being the survival of the fittest has played a prominent role in modern speculation on our past and future, perhaps even contributing to a self-fulfilling prophecy. There is, however, much more scientific evidence for the fact that the longest-lasting species on the planet have done so through cooperative group living and harmonious adaptation to the environment. So it behooves us, for our survival as a species, to note what we do to perpetuate situations of unsafety which breed conflict, as well as what has been demonstrated to release these patterns and lead to more safety and cooperation amongst humans and with our environment. We will now continue using the spiral dynamics model to understand the next level of values that has the potential to be a significant step towards changing the planetary group survival mentality to one of holistic cooperation. The 6th subsistence level, sociocentric existence. Promotion of growth to the 6th level of consciousness requires that the individual be in an environment in which problems of material existence pose little threat. Both internal and external resources are sufficient to provide for basic needs as well as comforts, and the individual is brought into contact with others for whom sharing the benefits of existence is more important than acquiring them. At this transition, there is a shift in emphasis from the patterns and processes of life to the subjective content of individual experience. The focus in interpersonal relations is less on making them more efficient for supplying individual needs and more on bringing individuals closer to one another for gaining acceptance. Working in groups is especially indicated during this transition. Historically, many such modalities were birthed from the emergence of this level of consciousness. Breaking down expectations placed on self and others that keep individuals from sharing on an equal basis is the task of certain Gestalt therapy techniques. Being aware of how one affects others and gaining the ability to communicate how they affect oneself is one of the major functions of sensitivity training. Consciousness-raising groups help break the pattern of society that keeps individuals segmented from each other. Bioenergetics and structural integration, Rolfing, help to break the musculature patterns of the body that function to inhibit sensations. At this 6th subsistence level, humans are striving to learn how to live in a world of abundance for human wants. They have the comprehension that human subjectivity is a reality, not a myth to be cast aside, and they direct their energies toward knowing their inner self and other selves so harmony and acceptance can come to be. The authority they recognize is that of the peer group, rejecting differential classification and espousing the democratic approach. Warm social intercourse and personal sensitivity are highly valued. The functioning at this level seems to reflect a more refined integration between lower appetitive centers and higher cognitive processes. The learning system associated with this level has been variously called vicarious, the modeling, or the observational learning system. Within this system, individuals acquire new potential behaviors without receiving any direct external reinforcement for their own acts or making observed responses. The learning takes place through observing events or symbols, or the consequences of others' actions, without having to take a direct physical part in the environmental manipulation. Helping at the sociocentric level is effective with many of the group techniques I just mentioned as useful in the level 5 to 6 transition. There's a greater emphasis, however, on equality of participation and less on therapist-client orientation. Each is expected to participate in the process of working out their own problems. There's a general dislike of specific formal techniques and a gravitation towards informal, empathetic sharing. Spontaneous interaction is preferred to a planned program or even fixed roles. Spiritual values are prominent, and again, as with previous even-level systems, encouragement to uphold the systemic principles, for example, equality and tenderness, is often the means of handling conflict arising within this level. But here, the group provides the learning standard rather than an authority figure, as in level 4, or an outside expert, as in level 5. Both individual and group breathwork help individuals at the 6th level explore their inner world of sensations and emotions to free their flow. The ability to communicate with emotional intelligence or nonviolent communication is highly valued at this stage of growth, where sensitivity is equally, if not more important than knowledge. Breathwork helps develop a felt sense for individuals who have lived a life primarily in their heads. Here, feelings are not judged right or wrong. They are sources of information that lead to life's richness. The breathworker helps the client to breathe with all feelings, including rage and terror, to recover the energy frozen in their suppression by trusting their breath and, where useful, directing the expression of these feelings to safe targets. This relieves great stores of energy for those who fear the demons within them, which turn out, when exposed, to be feelings that we were taught would cause loss or even eternal damnation if expressed. Holding you in my heart as fellow travelers on the road home, I send and receive blessings for our circle and all sentient beings till next class. Blessings in light and love.